Sherry Cameron here. I am the owner and founder of my business, The Pathway to More. And I support women who are longing for more purpose, more passion, more inspiration in their work and in their life. And I really support them in identifying what that passion, purpose, business is and helping them to create that. When I first met Kim and Kat, I had gone to their, at the time was called their Profitable Speaker Boot Camp. It was a 3-day boot camp. And I learned, wow, so much from them at this event. And it really got me thinking that they would be a perfect fit to help me to just sort of get my business going. When I started and when I went to their boot camp, I really was just very, very fresh in my business and not even really sure of the exact direction that I wanted to go. And so this is really what I wanted support with. And then obviously growing the business and making it successful from there. What made me want to join the mastermind group was, well, there's a few things. First of all, Kim and Kat are both so relatable, and the strategies that they were teaching made so much sense to me. And I love the fact that they both have, they work so well together and they're such a great team, but they both have different skill sets. And so I thought that was awesome that I was kind of getting the 2 for 1. As well, I wanted some more clarity in my business and I really needed guidance. You know, I came from corporate, and that's a whole different ball of wax than entering into the entrepreneurial world. And I really wanted some guidance on how to move my business forward. I loved that what they promoted was speaking. I personally really enjoy speaking and saw that as a great tool to multiply your audience quickly. But then also all the strategy behind the business building. It's not just the speaking. It's like, okay, once you start, speaking to people, how do you build? How do you grow? How do you scale from there? And I loved that they had some really great strategies on how to do that. And I thought were very unique in the industry and really spoke to me. So one of the strategies that I really was drawn to that Kim and Kat teach is a strategy around hosting summits. First of all, I love speaking. I love bringing like-minded people together. I love this whole idea of really just creating energy amongst people partnering together. And so I love that piece of it. I also love that piece really, hosting the summit, positions me as an authority in the community. And I really experienced that, I got to say, right away. I had people that came onto the summit, actually didn't even see my talk, but booked and called me to book sessions with me because they just liked how I hosted the summit, which was really, really kind of cool to me and super surprising because I just didn't expect that. So that was kind of a surprise. And I loved that for someone who was just starting out in their business and like literally had 0 contacts in my contact list, that this was a way that I could just get a whole bunch of contacts quite quickly. And I built my list very rapidly with this strategy. So that was really exciting. One of the great things about this summit that I loved is that it seemed like an overwhelming task. When you think of, hosting a summit and running 2 days or 3 days or more of speakers and just managing all of that and just all the tech behind it, it seemed pretty overwhelming to me. But what I loved is that being a part of the mastermind group, Kim and Kat really have everything that you need there, all the templates ready. Like really all you got to do is download them or print them or whatever it is and just use them. And it's basically just take the information, plug it in. Everything is there for you, right down to like, when you go on camera, what button do you need to press? What do you need to say? And then what button do you need to press next? Like, so you really knew every step of the way exactly what you were doing. Plus, on the tech side, You know, I'm not the most techie person in the world, but again, with the support of having the step-by-step instructions, and then having Kim and Kat there to support you with any tech questions you have, was really, really invaluable. And then I also have to say, there's lots of people coming into the mastermind at different times, and they're all at different places. So there's people who are aspiring to do a summit, but really want to just test out the waters first. So you've got people there that are willing to support you, volunteer with you through your summit. Or you've also got access to people who in the mastermind who have run summits of their own and can give you feedback from, you know, the perspective of being a mastermind member and what the experience was like for them. So you're really kind of covered on all aspects and everything that you need. And I just so appreciated and loved having that support. In terms of results for the summits, I was astounded by the results that I got and absolutely thrilled by some of the just concrete results that I took from running my summit. First of all, one of my first summits, I got over 555, I think it was 555 to be exact, people that registered, which blew my mind. As I mentioned earlier, coming from a list of 0, that was exponentially like, wow, I'm over 500 people on my list now. On top of that, I sold, I know on my last summit, I sold, I believe it was 45 VIP tickets. Now, I know Kim and Kat will say the summit strategy is not necessarily, you know, it's a growth, it's a list building strategy. It's not necessarily a money-making strategy, but I'm not gonna lie, I loved having over $2,000 in revenue from running the summit. So that, you know, paid for some of the back end costs, which aren't many, but paid for some of that. But then, you know, it was just money in my pocket, which was really, really awesome as well. What else can I say? I loved that. Again, I had people that didn't even see my talk. They actually booked sessions with me, and that turned into business for me. So it was really interesting. They hadn't even seen what it was that I had to offer, but they just saw me as someone that they enjoyed listening to. They liked how I spoke with the other speakers and booked calls with me and wanted to you know, learn more about what I do. And that turned into business for me as well. And my very first summit that I had, that was my first time of ever launching my course. So I had just started to create this course. It was my first time launching it. And I was pleasantly surprised to have 8 people book in my very first time running my course. So that was really exciting. And that generated over $2,300 in revenue for me as well. Not to mention the other bookings that I had of calls with me who did business with me outside of running the course. So it was much more lucrative than I even anticipated it would be. I have ran 3 summits now using Kim and Kat's model perfectly over and over again. And each of my summits, I have raised anywhere from about $3,000 to, I'm going to say $5,000 in between my summits. And that's for the revenue from VIP sales, also running my courses, and just business that I've got in between all of that. So it's pretty exciting when you consider that really it's not even a revenue generating strategy, it's a list building strategy. So that's been very exciting. I really love that running the summits, you know, you think about building your list, you think about maybe generating a little bit of revenue, but what's also really cool about it is that it puts you in that position of authority, and you end up connecting with all your speakers in probably a level that you normally wouldn't connect with them with just having, you know, a conversation here or there. So they really, especially if you run your summit well, and Kim and Kat set you up where, you know, you can't help but run a great summit. If you run a summit well, I mean, I can't say the number of speakers that have said to me, wow, this is a very well run summit. And then, you know, you find they want to know you. And then they want to start collaborating with you, and you start getting JV partnerships out of it where they want to promote your course. And now you've got other people promoting your programs for you, and they're not even necessarily speaking on your next summit. And so that's really been exciting. And just too, I've had even participants that have come to my summit and said, oh my gosh, like, when is your next one? Because I want to start promoting it to other people too. And so that's really exciting. So you've got all this army of people out there that are waving your flag, and you don't have to do anything more than just give them the information on your summit, or give them information on who you are and what you do, and they're out there. You got an army out there marching out there waving your flag for you. So I love that. I would highly, highly recommend, if you are thinking of joining Kim and Kat in their mastermind group, for me, I can say that it's been a game changer in my business. If you're in business at all already, there's a lot out there, and there's a lot coming at you, and there's times when you just feel overwhelmed and you're not even sure where to start. And they really lay it out for you in a step-by-step path, and like, here's where you are, here's what you need to do at this point in your business, and here's what you need to do next. And, I'm going to say there's a lot of distraction out there. There's a lot of shiny objects as an entrepreneur, but working with Kim and Kat and knowing, and what I love too about them is that they're only teaching what they already have proven is effective and works in their own business, right? This is not, fluffy, oh, try this, do that, it works, but they haven't actually implemented what they're doing. They're actually teaching you exactly what they're doing and how it's scaled for them. And it's just been such an eye-opener for me, and such a huge learning. I was just saying to someone the other day how this last year of being in mastermind with them has been a huge learning curve, and that I have learned so much valuable information that I just don't think I would have been flailing and spinning my wheels if I had to try and figure it out on my own. So if it's something that you're considering doing, I highly recommend for you to jump in. You're going to have lots of fun, first and foremost, but you're going to get a lot of strategies, a lot of tools, everything that you need, support from peers who are on the same journey you are. But they map it out in a way where you just know what your next step is all the time. It's not overwhelming. So jump in. I highly recommend it. So one last thing that I would like to add is, for me, if there's one thing that I've learned in being an entrepreneur, that it's almost impossible to do it alone and to do it without support. And for me, when I was first considering joining Kim and Kat's mastermind group, the investment was a stretch for me, but I also decided to take the plunge. And I have learned throughout my journey that you need support. You need to have the support of people who have been there, been where you are, done what you want to do, achieved what you want to achieve, and create an environment where you have a lot of fun doing it. But yes, you really just need that support, and you can't do it alone. And if you do it alone, it's going to take you way longer and cause you way more money in the long run. So I would just encourage you, even if the investment seems to be a stretch for you, have faith. You're going to take away a lot, and it's going to change your business.